I, 29 male, got the text that ended my relationship while sitting in a dentist's waiting room last Monday. My girlfriend Bianca, 27, had been acting weird for a few days, lots of hush phone calls, but I figured work stress or something. The text came at 2:17 p.m. Bianca, hey babe, quick heads up. Remy is going through a rough patch and needs somewhere to crash for a few weeks. He's moving in tonight. I know this is sudden, but it's not negotiable. He's in a bad spot, and I owe him this. Remy, her ex, the guy she dated for 3 years before me. The one she swore was completely out of the picture. I sat there, mouth still numb from Novocaine, rereading it. Not negotiable. In the apartment we'd been sharing for 8 months, where we split everything 50-50ths. My response, no problem. Bianca, really? Wow, thanks, babe. I knew you'd understand. He'll be on the couch. Won't be in the way. Me, all good. Handle it however you need to. Bianca, you're the best. 2 hearts. Here's the thing about our living situation that Bianca apparently forgot. We're both on the lease, yeah, but the lease is month to month. Either party can give 30 days notice to the landlord to remove themselves. And more importantly, the security deposit, that was entirely mine. $2,400. She couldn't afford her half when we moved in, promised to pay me back. Never did. I left the dentist and went straight back to work. Acted normal. Texted Bianca about dinner plans like nothing was wrong. Then I started making calls. First call, my buddy Jerome. Asked if I could crash at his place for a few nights. He had a spare room, no questions asked. Second call, the landlord, Mr. Anderson. Explained I needed to remove myself from the lease, effective immediately due to an emergency situation. He said I need to give 30 days notice. I asked about the provision for domestic situations, when one party needs immediate separation. He said if both parties agree, it can be expedited. Third call, my cousin who owns a moving company. Asked if he had a truck available that evening. He did. Went home at 5 p.m. Bianca wasn't there yet. Perfect. I started packing. Not frantically, not angrily. Methodically. My clothes, my electronics, my kitchen stuff, I bought most of it. My furniture, the TV, the good couch, my desk setup. Left her stuff. Left the old futon she'd brought from her previous place. Left her decorations. By 7 p.m., I'd loaded everything into the truck. The apartment looked sparse, but livable. She still had basics. Then I sat down and wrote a letter to leave on the counter. Bianca, you said Remy moving and wasn't negotiable. I respect that. You've made your choice about what you need. I've made mine. I've moved out and initiated my removal from the lease. Mr. Anderson has your contact information for the transfer. The full rent, $1,850, is due on the 1st. The security deposit was paid entirely by me, so that will be returned to me when the lease ends. Best of luck with everything. P.S. The utilities are in my name. I'll be canceling them tomorrow at noon. You want to set up new accounts. Left my key on the counter. Took photos of the apartment's condition, spotless, no damage. Sent an email to Mr. Anderson with the photos, confirming my move out, and providing Bianca as the sole contact for the lease going forward. Then I left. Got to Jerome's place around 8 p.m. Turned off my phone. Opened a beer. Felt free. Like when you finally rip off a Band-Aid that's been slowly peeling anyway. Turned my phone on the next morning to 63 texts and 19 missed calls. Update 1. The meltdown was exactly what you'd expect, but with some extra spice I didn't see coming. The text started around 9 p.m. that first night, right after she got home and found my letter. Bianca, what the hell? Where are you? This isn't funny. You took the TV? Call me now. How could you do this? Remy is here, and there's nowhere for him to sleep properly. You're being so immature. Then the call started. I didn't answer. She left voicemails that progressed from confused to angry to tearful to furious. 3 a.m. You need to grow up and come home. We could talk about this. 6 a.m. The landlord called. What did you tell him? You can't just leave me with the full rent. 8 a.m. The power company says the account is scheduled for disconnection. You wouldn't. Noon. She found out I would. The power was cut. That's when she switched tactics and got her friends involved. Her best friend Carly called. What kind of man abandons his girlfriend because she's helping a friend in need? Her sister Delia texted, Bianca is crying. How can you be so heartless? Remy is practically homeless. Even got a text from a number I didn't recognize. Hey man, this is Remy. I don't know what your problem is, but Bianca is really upset. Be a man and come sort this out. The audacity. Her ex texting me about being a man while sleeping in what was my apartment. I responded to exactly one person, Bianca. One text. You said it wasn't negotiable. I agreed. My decision to leave isn't negotiable either. Direct all apartment concerns to Mr. Anderson. Then I blocked her number. Blocked Qley. Blocked Delia. Blocked Remy. Went about my day. But here's where it gets interesting. That evening, I get a call from Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson, hi. I have Ms. Rivera here, saying she can't take over the full lease. She's saying you abandoned her without notice? Me? I gave you notice yesterday. Sent the documentation. She informed me her ex was moving in, said it wasn't negotiable. I chose to leave. Mr. Anderson, I see. Well, she's saying she can't afford the full rent. Wants to keep it split. Me? That's between you and her now. I've formally removed myself with proper notice. Mr. Anderson, the thing is, if she can't take over the lease alone and you've withdrawn, I'll need to start the eviction process. The rent is due in 5 days. Me, I understand. That's unfortunate. Later found out from Jerome, who heard from his girlfriend who knows Qley, that Bianca was scrambling. Remy, the guy she was helping, unemployed, been couch surfing for 2 months. Not only could he not help with rent, he was eating her food and using her Netflix all day. She tried to get Remy to leave, so I'd come back. He refused, said she'd offered him a few weeks and he needed it. She'd already told everyone what a good person she was for helping him. Couldn't back out now without looking bad. The rent deadline was approaching. This was about to get messy, eh? Update 2. The first of the month came and went. Bianca did not pay the full rent. She tried to pay half, $925, which Mr. Anderson rejected. It was all or nothing. She had until the 3rd before late fees kicked in and the 5th before eviction proceedings would start. On the 2nd, I got an email from her. She'd created a new email just to contact me since I'd blocked her everywhere else. Subject, please. I can't afford this place alone. You know that. I don't understand how you can be so cruel. Remy is leaving tomorrow, but the damage is done. I need you to come back and at least help with this month's rent. I'll pay you back. Please don't do this to me. I didn't respond. On the 3rd, the dirty trick started. First, she showed up at my workplace. Security called up to my desk saying my wife was there for a lunch date. I told them I wasn't married and to please escort her out. She made a scene. Security had to physically remove her while she screamed about me owing her money. That evening, Jerome showed me her Instagram. She'd posted a sob story about being abandoned by someone she thought loved her and how she was facing homelessness because of a vindictive ex. The comments were brutal for me. People calling me trash, saying she deserved better. Whatever. I don't even have Instagram. But then she escalated to something actually problematic. She called my mom, my sweet, worry-prone mother who had no idea any of this was happening. Told her I'd abandoned her after she'd lost her job. Lie. That she was pregnant. Massive lie. And that I'd left her for another woman. Also lie. My mom called me in tears. It took an hour to calm her down and explain the truth. I sent her screenshots of Bianca's original text about Remy moving in. My mom was livid. Nobody messes with her baby boy, apparently. She called Bianca back and, in my mom's words, gave her a piece of my mind about lying to a mother. On the 4th, desperation set in. Bianca somehow got my new address, probably followed me from work, and showed up at Jerome's place with Remy. Remy. The audacity levels were off the charts. Jerome answered the door. I stayed in the living room, but could hear everything. Bianca, I need to talk to him. This is insane. Jerome, he doesn't want to talk to you. Please leave. Remy, listen, bro. We're all adults here. Your boy needs to handle his responsibilities. Jerome, his responsibility? You're living in what was his apartment, rent-free, and you want to talk about responsibilities? Bianca, I'll call the cops. He stole my furniture. Jerome, he took his property. I helped him move it. Everything he took was his. Go ahead, call them. They didn't call the cops. They left after more yelling. On the 5th, I got a call from Mr. Anderson. Eviction papers had been filed. Bianca had 30 days to vacate. She tried to negotiate, offered to find a new roommate, but without someone on the lease immediately, he couldn't wait. That evening, I got another email. From Remy's email address, but clearly written by Bianca. You've made your point. I shouldn't have said it wasn't negotiable. I should have discussed Remy staying with you first. But this has gone too far. I'm going to be evicted. Is that what you wanted? To see me on the street? Please, I'm begging you. Come back and we can work this out. I did respond to this one. Bianca, you made a unilateral decision about our living situation. I made one too. The difference is, mine was about my own life, not yours. You chose to prioritize your ex over our relationship. That was your right. The consequences are yours to handle. Stop contacting me. Stop contacting my family. Stop coming to my workplace. Any further harassment will be met with a restraining order. The apartment situation is between you and Mr. Anderson now. Then I set up an auto-forward to send any emails from her or Remy straight to a folder in case I needed them for legal documentation. The eviction was in motion, but she still had one more card to play. Final update. The last 3 weeks have been educational about how far entitlement can go when reality hits. First, Bianca tried the legal angle. She actually hired a lawyer, with what money, I don't know, to send me a demand letter. It claimed I had constructively evicted her by removing myself from the lease without proper notice, and demanded I pay 3 months of rent as damages. My response was simple. I forwarded it to my uncle who's a lawyer. He laughed, actually laughed, sent back a response that basically said, my client gave proper notice to the landlord and followed all legal requirements for lease modification. Your client's inability to afford the apartment she chose to make unilaterally available to her ex-boyfriend is not my client's responsibility. That went nowhere. Then came the smear campaign 2.0. She started contacting my extended family on Facebook. Aunts, uncles, cousins I barely talked to, telling them I'd left her stranded and homeless. Most of them ignored her, but my Aunt Rita called me concerned. When I explained the situation, that she'd moved her ex in without discussing it with me, my aunt's response was perfect, so she thought she could have her cake and eat it too. With both of you in the same apartment? That girl needs therapy, not sympathy. Meanwhile, the eviction proceeded. Bianca managed to delay it by a week by claiming hardship, but ultimately, she had to leave. And here's where it gets almost sad if it weren't so predictable. Remy bounced the moment the eviction was final. Apparently, once she didn't have an apartment for him to crash in, he remembered he had other friends. Left her to pack and move alone. She tried calling me crying about it. The call went straight to voicemail, which I deleted without listening. But the real kicker came last week. I ran into Qley at a coffee shop. She tried to ignore me, but I was at the counter when she walked in. No avoiding it. Qley, coldly, hope you're happy. She's living with her parents now. Me? That's unfortunate. Qley, she loved you. She was just trying to help someone. Me? She made a choice. Every adult has that right. So did I. Qley, you destroyed her life over jealousy. Me, no. She destroyed our relationship by moving her ex in without discussion. I just declined to subsidize it. Then Qley said something that actually made me laugh. Qley, she's telling everyone you're abusive, that you financially controlled her. Me? The same everyone who knows she couldn't afford the security deposit? Who knows I paid for most of our dates because she was always broke. Good luck with that narrative. She stomped off. Yesterday, I got one final email. Bianca again, new address. I know you hate me now. I get it. I messed up. Remy was a mistake. Moving him in was a mistake. Saying it wasn't negotiable was a mistake. I've lost everything. My apartment, my relationship, my dignity. My parents are so disappointed. I have to start over completely. I just wanted you to know that I learned my lesson. You don't owe me anything. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. Really sorry. Not for sympathy, just because you deserve an apology. I hope you find someone who treats you better than I did. I didn't respond. There's nothing to say. She made choices, faced consequences. That's life. As for me, I'm good. Better than good, actually. Found my own studio apartment. Smaller than the old place, but it's all mine. No drama, no surprise roommates, no one making unilateral decisions about my living space. Jerome and I have become better friends through this. He said watching me handle everything so calmly taught him about self-respect and boundaries. His girlfriend apparently uses me as an example of not putting up with BS to her friends. My mom still randomly texts me, "Proud of you for standing up for yourself." She also may have told our entire extended family about that lying girl who tried to trap my son. Bianca is basically family gossip legend now, and not in a good way. The security deposit? Got it back in full last week. Mr. Anderson said the apartment was left in good condition, probably because I'd taken such good care of it. That $2,400 went straight into my savings. Thinking about using it for a vacation. Solo trip, no drama, no negotiations. The lesson? When someone tells you something about your shared life is not negotiable, they're telling you exactly where you stand with them. Believe them. And more importantly, remember that your response doesn't have to be negotiable either. She wanted to play the not negotiable card. I just played it better. Living my best life now. Alone, drama-free, and with full control over who does and doesn't enter my space. That's all, folks. Thanks for following along on this bizarre journey.